Wahur, Warhub, Maboika. Bienvenido. Welcome. I'm being a little low because everybody's sleeping, but I just want to quickly make a couple of notes. Man, you gotta be ready for tomorrow. Bang 'em Monday. Ooh, I can't wait because again, we gotta get all different sides of the situations, man. And I know my brother Amunu is gonna bring it and give a very interesting perspective at this whole thing. You see, Farrell right now he's using, and my brother Aminu started this, bro. He started it, but he kicked that damn Hufu emperor out of the feed. We didn't kick him out. I was there. He didn't kick him out. He was just like, "Yo, we can't have this discussion right now because look what." But you know what? It's gonna continue. It's crazy, crazy, crazy discussion. You know. So just to recap a little, they did bring in the Emperor Hufu, and them two brothers were like at odds. They not interested at all in the freedom of the master teacher. They just not. And they using the premise, the narrative that, hey, we're not against Chief Black Eagle Maku. We're not against him. We're not against Malachi York. We're against his people around him. I'll keep saying it. All the nations, all the Native Americans, that's what they're rolling with, man. We've been, not we, because I don't think I fit in that, but we know we there's some people that did disagreeable thing. Baba has to attract the disagreeable and the agreeables and try to bring them under one fucking roof. That's what Solomon did. Had control over the jinns and the angelic beings, the ones. Baba's the same way. Deal with disagreeables and trying to bring them all together under one banner. But it's difficult. It's the only way we're gonna. The man said it. The only way you're gonna get me free is through uniting and hashuk, which means divine appreciation. Divine appreciation. Learning how to come together, even if we have a little disagreement or disagreeables, but we gotta come together, man. We gotta solidify that. I brought it up to the brother, in Wahani. That's what I'm saying. Our master teacher's ahead of his time, bro. And these little, he wanted to bring all of the Native American tribes together. The Shoshones with now this brother say he has his own, and the Yamasi, all these brothers that claim that they're chiefs. These chiefs out there. You know what I'm saying? And then in the Caribbean, you got the Confederation of Taino people. You got those different chiefs. And even in the island of Puerto Rico, you got two different chiefs at odds with each other, bro. It's hard. It's very hard to bring that community together and bring them into the fold. Because remember, this is a global thing. It's global. It's galactical. It's global. It's the stars. It's Wusabat. It's Sirius star system. It's going beyond. Right now there's radio waves coming from the center of the universe, and they don't know, and it's bombarding the earth. So a lot of us are getting lifted. Everything's getting exposed and we're getting lifted. We're getting the signals, man. But some of the radios are just not in tune. They're just not in tune. And so You know, all this about creating city states, government comes from ancient Kemet. That's the reason why when you look at this logo I got up there, an ancient Kemet, ancient Kemetic, or ancient Egyptian, ancient Tamarian, ancient Taseri, ancient Hutka Ba, no Hutka Pa, or Hut Ba Ta. That's going ancient, bro. Man, I'll break that down one day for y'all. But anyway, there they created city states. In order to create a city state, a force of nature, they called it the Natharu, right? Well, we're gonna explore that and put that all together. There's three flags. Three flags. The Natiru, plural. Natharu, plural. Not the Natir is one flag. But when you got three flag, right? You got two or more, you got a plural now. You know? You don't got a dual, now you got a plural. And you got a perfect balance. Three, which also deals with 9, 6, and 3. 3, 6, 9. You know what I'm saying? 9, 6, and 3. So when you rotate the 6 and the 3, it becomes a 9, right? And that's the 9. That's the pinnacle. That's the top. That's Antun. But anyway, we're gonna all go over that one another day. I don't want to go into that right now. That's a board thing. I got to take it to the board and show you how that principle works. But anyway, you see 3 flags. Why so difficult? I mean, man, Baba had all the flags flying when you walk down into the land. And then when you went to the Ansar University, you had other flags flying. Your Mahdi's flag. You know what I'm saying? But, oh man. How you gonna get these people together? It's difficult. And their brothers gotta prove themselves. I don't know Khufu. That Emperor Khufu, he says he's got a nation, he's got a state. Nation, where his people? His registry. He's gotta have a registry. You have to have a registry. And his brother, I should have asked him, where's your registry? Do you have a registry? Because if you go to the Confederation of Taino People, they have a registry. I have an ID number and I am on the registry. And they keep actual records of that. There's a secretary that keeps the records of the registry. With your number in there and a copy of your certificate and your ID, a membership ID. Registry. So, is he willing to say, okay, well, how strong is the registry? Under AEO, we had a registry. Under Ansarullah University, we had a registry. There was an application that you had to find, and you had to sign to get in there. And they had a list of brothers. They knew, because when you went to the books room to get your books to propagate, you was on books. You was on a registry. Oh, you're Abdul Sabot. Okay, I'm giving you 5 books. This is how much you got to bring back for those 5 books. This is how much the book costs. And bring back the money. That's quota. They give you enough for you to make your quota. You know what I'm saying? But it's a registry. So I don't know. What about this registry? Do they have one? That's something that we got to dig deep and see, because of now they just with the magic of internet and YouTube, they're just getting on here and giving us a show. I mean, they dropped me some information, but like I said, a lot of that information I can read in the redemption process. And there was a lot of this forms. They might be outdated with the edition that I have, because I don't mess with that. That edition that I have that my brother gave me, and I had the CD that I could print out all those forms. You know, and that's information you could find. And he was talking a lot of information that are talking points, and we know that sovereignty talking points. The Moors did that for a long time. The Moors did that a long time. But what happened when they were going to court and getting arrested and trapped up? Some of them. Very rarely one would get away. But there are brothers that are smart enough that they know how to get away by bringing in certain, dealing with the penal system a different way. But we got to be careful, man, because remember those are the 5 P's. We're beyond that. But those are the 5 P's: the psychology, the philosophy, the politics, the polytheism, and the penal system, which is the hardest. And that's what we're learning here with the master teacher. He had to sacrifice himself, man. Bring us to the knowledge of how the penal system works. So I'm beginning to sit back and see it. That point, that 5-pointed star, and then the 6-pointed star, they add the pharmaceutical. You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole different star, different points that they use to cast their magic on you. That visualization. And then, of course, they have their tones. If you listen good, this brother was spitting that tone. The USSCC number, boom, 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 and this, the S145, and boom, 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 and this, and the commas, and it's for value. And man, that's a whole different talk, a whole different programming. That's how I'm looking at it. That's a whole different programming there. So you got brothers wearing a Native American feathers and are programmed like that to think like that and to spit this out. And in there you do find truth. You do. You deal with commerce. But commercial commerce, deal with commodity. What's the commodity? What market are you cornering? When they say corner the market, what market? What market? Our master teacher wanted us to corner the tamarin, the Egyptian market. You know what I'm saying? That style of nature. Because he knew that tracing ourselves back to that also gave us the knowledge of us to establish our CPAT, city-state, CPAT, learning how to establish that, and learning how to, again, read those glyphs and see what it means. And he drops jewels in there with those glyphs. And those are stamps on the wall. Ancestors left stamps. And that's the Kemetic. But then there's a point that the Greeks came in and did and altered a lot of that stuff. So we have to be careful. We got to go back. And we're finding that it's easier now with the Sabaean scripts that they trace it back to Hermetic to Huti. And so he was a recorder, remember, the ledger, recorder, the registry, the time, right? And so this idea of dealing in commerce, Kemet was a marketplace where you have all these different tribes coming from all over Africa, going to the market and conducting commercial business. Caravans coming in. You have pictures on the wall, caravans and cattle and irrigation and farming, all of that. And then that one big market in Kemet. They met at those cities, Napata, They met at Moroi. Moroi was it's like saying Birmingham in England. It was an industrial city. The city of Moroi. I forgot what the ancient name for it, but that's where Punt, and then further was Kush. Those are Sabaean, because the Sabaean, that was a way of life. That was a spiritual practice amongst these people. Our people, our ancestors, that vein of our genetics, that stem of our genetics. And so those glyphs, which are still used today, so it's readable, and those glyphs are on stones and stamps and symbols. You see the crescent and the nukta, the dot, that, and the crescent. You see that in some of their stones. You see the stamp. So they were establishing cities. That was an industrial city, and then you had other cities, outposts that were like military outposts. And the Nubians were all up in there, the Kushites and the Punt. And the reason why I'm mentioning this, because that's very important, because we tied ourselves back. So these are lessons that we know how to create city-state. But all of that transfer, they took that and transferred it over to the United States of America. This corporation used it. So now a lot of these brothers are getting caught in the play of the alteration of city-state. The alteration in the corporation, because it's like you own the land, but we got the corporation, which means we can put that land, we could put your city, and we can put it on the market. All that is on the market to the natives. We're taking this land. Why? Because it's on the market. We sold it. How did you sell our land? Oh, because you have your grandfather in, but we have the corporation, so we have the military might behind us to enforce that paperwork, that deed to that land, because we formed this corporation. So we got the might. In other words, they bullguard their way in. It's a stick up, yo. But of course they didn't get everything, because it's still, there was still land out here that they couldn't touch. And they allocated certain land for reservations and, on and on. You know what I'm saying? But when you deal with commerce, so we know about commercial commerce. And we can take it back. Take it back into ancient practice. So the discussion tonight was very interesting. Some of the brothers, I'm very proud. You brought up some good points. And it's not to be to discredit this brother, and that's not to be against him at all. Because we want to bring everybody to the fold, man. What did you learn? And you come over, man, fly your flag over here. If you have it like that, it's okay. You can fly your flag over here. But tell me what you learned, what you got, what angle. The main point is let's get this man out of there. And now you don't believe that this man is in there? Well, you don't believe it, but you don't know for sure, because you heard somebody else say it. You heard a broadcaster by the name of Don Nikki. Yeah, she has a YouTube channel, YouTube broadcasting. She broadcasts YouTube or Facebook Live, something like that. I have her. Matter of fact, I remember her years ago, I think in Blog Talk Radio, something like that. And I remember Uncle West, that brother who used to be in the Wapping, used to be together with her, and they used to be on the radio, the Blog Talk Radio. I know exactly who she is. So she's the only one that knows. She's the only one that's aware that this man is not in there, that he walked out. That's some creepy stuff. And I'm not saying that he's not capable of doing something like that. But when you hear the voices of those audio, that's him. If it's coming from the jail, you know, or they're broadcasting it from there, and he's talking to a lawyer, that's him talking to Tabitha. That's the master teacher. I know that voice. We know his voice. So what's going on? A clone has his voice. You know, they created clones, whatever. You know. Okay, I'm just trying to follow this man. You know, this his sense is his path of reasoning. I'm trying to follow that. So I'm thinking like, okay, let me see, okay. Because I remember one time at Passion, you know, there was a brother that was trying to get Passion a deal, you know. I don't know why he was trying to get Passion because you know, Baba wanted to operate on an independent level, and the brothers propagating, and we was going to different cities. We could be a distribution. We could have distributed his music. But anyway, the brother went out, tried to get him a record deal or something. And they did get a record deal, but it wasn't a good one. And Baba wanted to get out of it, so he wanted to dissolve Passion, but it was under contract. So what he did was to get three brothers that looked just as like one that looked like Marcelino, one that looked like him, and another one that looked like Steve at that time. I found it funny. These guys look just like Seymour, you know, a little, you know, and they were the Passion, so he put them out there. That was crazy. That was crazy. I remember that. So to be, you know, is the man incapable, you know, well, and you see story, and you see, you know, the story we were told about Prophet Yeshua in the garden, and Judas was made to transform himself into Yeshua, and then they got Judas, and Judas was the one that they took into the court. That's the reason why he didn't answer them and just said certain things. You're saying that I'm the Son of Man. I didn't say that. You say, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, we know the inside story of that. That's very, very, very interesting. So we know those things can happen. But in today's day and time, I mean, you know, with the technology, it's hard to hide. You know that. This is the fourth industrial revolution, man. It's going to be hard for you to hide within that metaverse. So we're hearing his voice through his internet. We're hearing his voice through a device, the recording of his voice. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and that's him on the recording. I don't see how anybody can trick us like that. So, you know, just following that, you know, things don't add up. And when things like that don't add up, then you know it's not truth. Truth got to fit perfectly, you know, neat, like a puzzle. But anyway, the disunity, man, and they use that oh, is your guy's not ready. And Hufu, if you listen to Hufu, that other brother Emperor, the same thing. They're saying the same thing. I'm not gonna get him out. You gotta get him out. One is saying, I'm not gonna get him out. I'll show you how to get him out, but you ain't ready for it. Cause you're scammers. He brings up Sakina, brings up the clam, or whatever. He brings them up. Right? And who knows? Maybe they're all working together. I don't know. You know, I don't want to go there anyway. And then this brother right now is saying, no, your guys are the one that put him in there. Your guys, you know, one minute he says he's not in there, and then another minute he says it's your guys are not ready. You know, it's well, yeah, crazy. And this is what's out here. So how are we gonna deal with this? How are we gonna? I'll tell you like this. It's not gonna be up to those that, you know, who claims Native American status, indigenous. It's not going to happen with them because they're not together. They're not they're not organized and they're not united at all. And then when you go up to the tribes, more in the northern tribes that are more Asiatic, you know what I'm saying? Because Baba did marry into an Asiatic woman. You know what I'm saying? So Baba knows. When he goes to Shoshone, more Asiatic also looking. But when he went into when you go into those tribes and their council and whatever, they're looking at also at us the same way. Now, who are these people claiming to be indigenous? Who are these people? Man, I thought they were African. You know, they had same thing. You know, some of them do very good works though up there, and then also like I brought up to the brother Mukaru, you know, Roberto Borrero Mukaru, who's the chief of the Confederation of Taino people. We call him Cacique. And he sits and he has a seat at the United Nations. He smiled. Yeah, I know him. I know. And you know what? I'm gonna try to get in touch with Mukaru and tell him, yo, do you know this person? Is he who he say he is? Does he have a registry? Have you guys, you know, does he belong? Does he have a seat amongst those councils that sit in General Assembly or something, and the Native Americans sitting at the General Assembly worldwide? Because again, I'm telling you, it has a lot to do with commodity also. You know? Right now, what the Confederation Taino people, their main objective, their thing is they want to get all the artifacts back into the island of Borinquen. Because Borrero works with that. You know, he wants to get back to the Tainos, all those artifacts. Because that's important for our culture. That's what they do. The Confederation of Taino people, that's what they do. You go to their site. That's what they do. Is to get all that, you know, artifacts, to get it brought back to the islands. That's their objective right now. Us Sabians and the Wapian, he said, I don't know what Sabian and the Wapian. Why are you calling yourself that? Well, what are we supposed to call ourselves? And Sabaism is the school that we're in right now. And it's the completion of everything he taught. Because we already had established it. He's been teaching this from way back. You know? It was there. It was hidden as a Jew until finally now, the completion. You're ready. You're ready now to come under the banner. You're ready now to come under the constellation, the cosmos. You're ready to come into the galactical confederation. You know, think galactically. But these brothers are still, they're caught up. So you can free me. Get me out of here. Get me out of the rock. Do I personally think? I personally think the man is incarcerated. He's tucked away because now his spirit may not be spirit of the character and personality. You know, it's the breath, the air. So he has the capability of reaching out. Like, yeah, I can buy that, but that's on a spiritual level. We're talking about a physical body that's being incarcerated. We're not talking about that. You know, he always told us you can imprison the body, but not the mind. It can be free, the mind. But we're talking about the body going through a lot and wants to be out of that situation so he can continue on doing what he needs to do at a global community, at a global level, at a galactical, so the galactical level. You know? Yeah, man. It was interesting. But we're gonna have some fun tomorrow. Please, I'm gonna tell my brother, please make sure I come on. I have some fun. I just want to just go with the vibe and see where you guys are heading with that. And as long as we be respectful, and then at the conclusion of it all, we got to be like, how do for the first objective is to get the master teacher free, his body, that body, to get that free, get Malakazio out of there, free. You know what I'm saying? And then how do we unite? Or maybe it's uniting everyone first, but but we can't wait for that. Man, we're die straight right now, man. This man, hell with it. He needs to come out now. How about waiting, working? No, 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 no. It's gonna be hard to get these brothers to work together because they feel that they have the paperwork and I have the remedy to get this man out of there, but you're not sharing it with us. Because both of them, if you heard it from both of them, they really feel they're looking at Nuwapians or black people, because they all talking white, but black people, because you're classified as black. But now he says, no, well, you got to get out of that, and white. Well, white is the reciprocal of black. So it's not really black. Blanco. Black. I like when he did that. And I was like, that's cunning. Blanco. Blanco, black, blanco. It made sense. I'm like, oh shit. But then if you go to the lodge, you have the checkerboard. It's a chess fucking game, man. This is a game that they're playing with us. The white against the black against the white. It's a game status, because for us, black is not a color. It's a state of mind. The blackness, the triple blackness, the voidness, the vacuum. That's how I defined it. And black people are people that all the possibilities of nature can exist within that race. All the possibilities. That's how we excel in music, hip hop. We create it. He also mentioned about Europe, around the world. All the possibility of all these races and nationality existed in the black race. And then it just like separated itself. Because that's the travel. So, man, how you gonna get these? And what kills me is that and it's true, What kills me is that but you know what? They confirming that the administration's something's gotta be done. They're failing really bad. The internet is just exposing Sakina. I don't even know how she can even save face or give her face with everybody know everything she's done. And this clan mother, Wakia, oh my. Man, you're being exposed, man. And Tashaka, the administration is being exposed right now. I'm not talking about the ones that run the administration. I'm not talking, now, the administration, somebody put out a post and they put out all of the stores. Pará number 1, Pará number 2, all the stores. And man, I should have brought it up. All these stores, yeah, have connection with the administration if books, but you got to purchase. But I know because in North Carolina, Pará number 17, they don't have that much books in there, Sabian book. They have to purchase it from the administration. But maybe it's considered, I don't know if there's a barter system, or I don't know if there's a credit system where they'll send books and they expect to get this in return, or you have to purchase the book first at a certain wholesale price and then sell it out in the store. I don't know how that works. I don't know. I haven't gotten to that point yet. But you know what I'm saying? What backup does administration give? Well, updates and certain things like that. And let me tell you something, man. I was watching one of the updates. No, not today. The class that they had from the 717. From the main para number one. And yo, I don't know. I was bugging. I was listening to that, and it seems to me a lot of it, because you can tell. You see, we already know Baba's voice and the way he speaks, even when he writes a letter. We could follow. We know, because we're activated like that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us know his voice. A lot of us know the way he speaks and the way he break things down. But when I heard them breaking certain things out, it seems like it was mixed with somebody else breaking something down. And the first person I thought was Sakina. Sakina talks like that. Because you can see by the way she talk and her path of reasoning and how, you know what I'm saying? She tries so much to sound like the master teacher. And you can see it. So it was strange that I was listening to them reading something, an update reading, and it sounded like Sakina mixed in, some of it also mixed in with what Baba, with his way of thinking. And I was like, whoa, 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 freak me out. And that's what's been happening too when they used to go visit him in prison. And that brother Michael Bachia told me this. He said they would go visit him and he would drop so many jewels, but they couldn't write it down. They weren't allowed to have a pencil in there, a pen, any writing, any paper. So they had to remember all this. But then when they went to the hotel room, they went and took a nap. Instead of writing it down so they don't forget, they went and took naps. And so by the time they wake up, they couldn't remember. And they said, well, yo, do you remember what he said about it? Do you remember what he said? Do you? Yeah. So a lot of misinformation got spread through that. They didn't know. They couldn't break it down. They're just giving you bits and pieces because they couldn't, their mind. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. So I'm like, yo, there's some things going around. So right now, man, I don't know. The administration's got to show face, man. What's going on here? And you got a lot of more brothers and sisters thinking like that. Yo, what's going on? What are you guys doing? You're supposed to, is your job is only just to put out books and whatever and to translate what Baba's saying and give it to us in the format? And what's going on here? So all of that is being exposed, y'all. Exposed. That doesn't look good for the administration. That doesn't look good for the worldwide Sabians. The Wapian Sabian. It doesn't look good for us. Is it done intentionally? As to bring us down? And this man and this man still in that position, locked away. So we got to turn everything around, really. We gotta, you know what I'm saying? We gotta go into the temple and just throw the chairs up and the tables up. I'm sorry, man. Something's got to be done. We got to really look at everything and be like, yo, what the hell is going on here? Why are these people saying these things? And too many people are saying the same thing. The same thing. So you're wondering, like, yo, what's going on? Terrible. Terrible. Have their heart changed that they're trying to do the right thing now? But, yo, that's going to be a lot of fixer-upper. A lot of duct tape. Terrible, bro. Terrible, terrible, terrible. So we got to go, those like-minded got to think and says, well, then, what can I do to at least, work towards the freedom of this man? Because, I really, I'm working out some ideas, man. I don't want. I ain't gonna put it on here. I'm working out some ideas. You know what I'm saying? Give it a shot. Hell with it. Something that I know is gonna be beneficial to the man. You know what I'm saying? Or beneficial to whoever's thinking in that frame. You know? Man. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. We're gonna have some fun tomorrow. And just gotta remember of things that were said. And the messages and behind the scene, the messages, the subliminal messages I was getting was like, we're not gonna help you guys. We don't even like you guys. The only way is for you to stop saying you're black. Okay, now you're white. Come here, and I'm the only one that can do the paperwork for you on that. So that you have standing in law. So you can stand on one of those points, the pineal point. You know? And then the other one is saying, oh man, I ain't gonna do it. You gotta do it. I tried to do it, but I got blocked. Oh, you have to give me the whole administration, you gotta give it to me. So now he wants to sit on that throne. And to the brother Amenuma, who started to check out the circle of iron, he wants the throne. Oh man. Oh man. You can have it, brother. You can have it. That's between you and the administration. They want to turn that whole administration to you? That's on them. But I want to see unity in everybody. So yeah, I'll contact the administration. I don't want to get their books, whatever. And I'll listen to the updates, and I'll make my discernship. Also say that, yeah, man, that doesn't sound like Pops. That part sounds like Pops. That part, but this part don't. But does it add up though? Is it applied? Is it sound right reason being applied also? So you look at it like that. That's the way I look at it. But administration, I think it's a great idea. You have administration. It's a corporation. You know what I'm saying? It's just the people that are, I don't know, the suspect. You know, that's what's beginning to be exposed. So you got to answer for that. That's not me. I ain't the one exposing all this. I'm just looking at it again. I put my name here, Sabur. Look that up in the metaneta. It means judge. Sit at a high place to look at things, you know, and weigh it out. Judgment is weighing things out. I weigh it out. I see, you know, what you're saying, if it matches with what you're doing, and I weigh that out. And then I see, is this beneficial? Is this morals and ethics? Is this the appropriation of morals and ethics? I want to know. You know, that's why I put that name here, Sabur. Look it up in the metaneta, on the Egyptian dictionary. Look that up. You know? So we're gonna have a big discussion on that. We have a discussion on one that the first one is Emperor Khufu and what he said. He revealed also there's a lot of corruption going on. They don't want this man out, and they blocked him, and he ain't dealing with it no more. He can teach us how to do it. We got to do it. He can put us on a ship, and we got to do it, right? And then the other one is saying, no, he can't do that. He doesn't have the authority to do that. And I like what Khufu says. I mean, this guy will make a great chancellor. He will make a good position, he says, because he's looking at it like, yo, I got a systematic way here, a government here, and you be great for that part. And he's like, he don't want no part of it. Like, no. They can't work together on something like that. Because if they were to come together, and those two flags come together and fly it, Then we were like, okay, we got these two flags. You got that paperwork done. We can hit them in that vein while we do this other thing. We could, you know what I'm saying? We could come from different directions to the main focal point of freeing Malachi York. So we're coming from different points. But they don't want to. Their excuse, and I think they even spread this out to the Native Americans, the Asiatic ones, the one up there, and the Confederation of Indian People, and the General Assembly. I think they're the one that spread that out, that these people, for one, they call themselves black, which we don't. Now they call themselves Sabians and Wapians. These people are not spiritual people. They shouldn't be allowed to function the way they function, to be allowed, unless they come under my banner, my flag. Don't deal with them. You know, it's a lot of questions there. I'm gonna find out. I'm going to find out about that. And like I said, they didn't turn their back on Maku or the Chief Black Eagle or Malachi York, because they read his books. They're kicking his words too. They're propagating to us. Check that shit out. They're propagating to us. That's why I laugh, because I grew up in that school, and San Ramos University. We were propagators, so they propagating us. It's like a 5% trying to kick it to you, and you're gonna just sit there and go, and you're gonna kick something right back to them. Like, yo, but then let me ask you a question about, brother, don't propagate to me. Just work with me, man. Let's unite on something here. Let's fly those flags properly. Let's get the master out so we can get the land. If he want to go to Africa, then he goes to Africa. Wherever he go, we're just gonna build. And you're gonna bring your flag. If you got people following you, come on with it. Come on with it. Because I'm telling you right now, Sabians are going everywhere. That's the thing, another thing I'm finding out, that we're everywhere. It's growing, and that's what's scaring these people, because we're growing. The doctrine is growing, and not because they're reading books. It's because a lot of us, what the master said in the past, is becoming in fruition. It's becoming to be manifesting now. We're in that now, that hereafter. What he spoke back then. And so we don't have to, a lot of us don't read the books. But we see with the lessons we received back then, now it's manifesting now. And we're like, wow, this is growing. That's why some brothers want to go back to the old books and stuff like that, and they want to validate that. But a lot of that is manifesting. It's growing, and we're attaching ourselves to a way of life called Sabbato. We translate it as Wu Sabat. Wu Nuwap and Wu Sabat. That's our stuff. We have our own time. We have our own clock of time. We can tell time differently. We don't, you know what they'll do? They'll cast that spell. AD, BCE. They'll use all the Roman system of timekeeping. But we learn how to come out of that time. And like in ancient and Nubia, they use a sundial. We learned all about that. So we could tell certain times. And we got our own calendar. We got our own number system. All of that. We got out of his programming. And we program ourselves the way we want to program. We can do that. We can go back into their little program, their matrix, and bend that to our will. It's the power he gave us. We have to learn, again, our number system, our timing system, our language and tones. And And now he brought us so that now we can trace it back to actual place and things. Person, place, and things. To just there. And then go beyond that person, place, and thing. That's where we at right now. We're coming from beyond person, place, and thing, but we're using person, place, and thing to solidify, because we have to still reach out to those that are stuck in person, places, and things. A lot of these brothers are still stuck in person, places, and things, and they cannot transcend, go beyond. And administration be dropping some jewels sometime when the letters that are reading Baba is talking beyond, and they're talking about the extraterrestrial and the way they get down and what's going on in that genetic finding. You know what I'm saying? But then they'll mix it up with something else. We got to look at it all. So I can use their system. Oh, yeah, BEC, BCE, or AD, or, you know, before Christ and before this, now after the death of Christ. You know what I'm saying? We can use the Roman system, Romano, but we have our own system, you know. So we can get, you know, we can navigate around that so as to give them back their stuff, man. So we can set up ourselves and our family and tell our own time and converse on our own tone. And then when anybody asks us, "What are you?" This is what I am. This and this and that. And I'm found. Those records are found in the walls in Kemet, what you call Egypt. It's found in Nubia. It's found in Yemen. It's found in Syria. It's found in all over in southern Arabia. It's found in Ethiopia. We're found all through there. We're found in Sudan with the answer. You know what I'm saying? We're star people. Star people. We set up observatory facilities like Nasta Plaza. Our ancient ones set up these observatory. The pyramids also function as an observatory to take in all those energy from the cosmos to create a transporter. A science. We know we've been taught all of this. We can talk that talk. Right now, we need to get out of his penal system. And the only way we can get out of his penal system point, right, is by freeing the master teacher. Prove to him that we can do it. He's working from the inside. I'm telling you, he's working from the inside. And he's got people working on the outside. And then the forces of nature are working on the outside. Because when you're in tune to the forces of nature and you know how that works, that electromagnetic forces work, and you in tune yourself with it, it's gonna come to your aid. It's gonna come to your aid. The only thing is, the diet has to be right, and he ain't getting that. He's not choosing his diet in there. Probably eating potatoes like crazy, or eating as much as little as possible, or eating whatever he can to survive. And now the Moderna shot, you have to take those things because you're in a confined situation, and they're gonna always experiment with people in there, and you don't want them to come at you with a certain way. Because they're gonna, they got you they got their foot on your neck. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be, okay, I'll take the Moderna shot. It's the best one. I'll take that because I'm in this situation here. But that doesn't mean that all of us have to take it. No. Some of us are immune to a lot of those viruses coming in. Those viruses or spores are coming in from the corona of the sun. It's changing the very environment here. And there's so much other, that conversation could go so deep. There's so many levels to that conversation that you wouldn't even believe, man, about how the global warming is really, because when you put a lot of black people, Spanish people in one room, it heats up. But the planet's heating up because there's too many of us. So they figure if we can lower the population of these people, we got a better chance of surviving because they're warming up the planet. You know what I'm saying? And to them we're destroying the planet. You know what I'm saying? The population, because we're out the services they have to provide, and the ecology and the waste management and all that stuff, and the plastic. A lot of things come to play, so it's hurting the planet. So they gotta lower the pollution. So they gotta lower the population and the services, and they gotta lower the services, the businesses. They gotta close a lot of businesses down so people don't come out. Quarantine people so people don't come out and start breathing all types of carbon dioxide out into the air. Or using these cars, the combustion cars. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to go too deep into that conversation. But anyway, we know all this talk, man. I just did that to you. That's what these brothers are doing. Is they using this knowledge, this talk, and then they pushing this paper, this penal. One thing about the penal system is the system of punishment and laws and codes and policies. Not really laws, like the law of gravity, levity. They're policies. Their indictment, their claims, they decree claims. That's paperwork. Man, you trying to put us back into that paperwork? We're giving them everything back. But anyway, it's a lot of this discussion can go so many different levels, and right now the way it looks right now is that these brothers are not. I don't know if Pharaoh's working on something and getting these guys together, or whatever, giving them a platform. Right, the way it looks right now, these two brothers, no, man, it's gonna be hard. You can get them two brothers together and figure out another strategy. That's another strategy, because there's so many different strategies. I have a strategy. You know what I'm saying? Some attorneys everybody got a different strategy, but they don't come together. I'm willing to sit down with lawyers, see what kind of strategy the administration has, if they have any. What kind of strategy Africa, Liberia, Ghana, people that are in Ghana. You know what I'm saying? But then again, a lot of mistrust against our people, a lot of mistrust. I don't trust that movement to Africa. I don't trust that indigenous movement. I don't trust the lawyers. A lot of mistrust. I'm telling you, so much disunity, and that's not going to help. We get so caught up in that storm that we forget about what we should be focusing on, and that's the freedom for the master teacher, and with appreciation. With appreciation. We have to learn how to appreciate, be tolerant of each other's differences, and sit down at the table, and there's got to be one that's got to be, okay, let's move forward with this idea. Let's move forward with this and that, and you take that. Anyway, it's difficult. Anyway, I'll save it for tomorrow, man. All right? So peace and blessing to everybody. Let me play my little commercial here real quickly before I go. Oh, wait a minute. Rahul Bad, my heart tweet. My whole bad. I'm sorry. I just caught the message. Now I didn't know what was going on, man. I could have probably sent you a link to get on if you're gonna still be up. I don't know. I'm gonna go to bed. It's already 2:40. Oh wow, 3:31. You sent this before. Okay, brother. Next time I'll be a little more alert. That way I can just send you a link and you just come on. Okay, but peace and blessing to you. Okay, let me just play you this, and I'm out. I'm out. Okay, peace and blessing, y'all. Ya yo me curé, ya yo me curé.